There are fears you can understand. You fear spiders because they can bite. You fear fire because it can burn. You fear death because all living things must eventually face it now and then. But the oldest fear of all does not have a face, doesn't even have a name. It begins with the question, what's hiding in there? Welcome, watchers, to Frightening Friday. Tonight, I am unlocking a file that should have remained sealed. If you're watching this alone, take a moment and look towards the darkest part of the room. Make certain nothing or nobody is standing there, because once you learn about Fear File 011, it may learn about you. The first report arrived without a name, a date, or a return address. Inside the envelope was a single photograph of an open doorway. Beyond that doorway was complete darkness. Written on the back were 6 words. It changes when nobody is looking. 3 nights later, a second photograph appeared inside the archive. It showed the same doorway, but something was now standing inside it. The figure was too tall to be human. Its arms hung almost to the floor, and where its face should have been, there was only a smooth patch of darkness. I searched every chamber of my archive, but I could not find the doorway shown in the photograph. Then I heard knocking from beneath the floor. 3 slow knocks. A pause, then 3 more. There is no room beneath the archive. At least, there wasn't before. I followed the sound until I found a black door hidden behind a shelf of sealed fear files. I had guarded that wall for hundreds of years. That door had never been there before. The moment I touched its handle, every lantern in the archive went out. Something whispered from the other side. It didn't speak my name, it spoke yours. I opened the door only a few inches. Beyond it was a hallway that stretched farther than the archive should have allowed. The walls appeared wet, and the floor was covered with photographs, hundreds of them. Each photograph showed someone watching this very file. Some were sitting on couches, some were lying in bed, some were wearing headphones, and in every picture the same dark figure stood somewhere behind them. Sometimes it was across the room, sometimes it was outside a window. In the final photograph, it was leaning over the viewer's shoulder. I dropped the pictures and slammed the door, but before it closed, a long black hand wrapped around its edge. The creature did not pull the door open. It simply held it there, waiting for my fear to decide what would happen next. That's its power. Fear File 011 has no permanent form. It becomes whatever you believe might be waiting in the darkness. If you imagine teeth, it grows teeth. If you imagine claws, it grows claws. If you believe something is standing behind you, it appears behind you. The creature feeds on uncertainty. Every unanswered question makes it stronger. Was that noise inside your house? Did something move past your doorway? Why did the room suddenly become colder? And why does it feel like someone is reading these words with you? When the lanterns returned, the doorway had disappeared. I eventually forced the door open shut and sealed it with every protection I knew. When the lanterns returned, the doorway had disappeared. Only one photograph remained on the floor. It showed me standing alone in the archive. Behind me was a shadow. And beneath the picture, someone had written a final message. You cannot contain what you cannot understand. The entity's current location remains unknown. Its appearance remains unknown. Its intentions remain unknown. That is why Fear File 011 may be the most dangerous creature I have ever encountered. You cannot prepare for it, you cannot predict it, and you will never see it coming. This file is now closed. But before you leave, answer one question in the comments. What is the scariest thing that could be hiding in the darkness behind you? Choose your answer carefully, because Fear File 011 may be listening. Until we meet again. And remember, keep your lights burning, keep your doors locked, and when the darkness whispers your name, do not answer. I am the Fear Keeper, and some fear should remain sealed. So here is my last question, dear listeners. If you saw something in the doorways or in the windows of your home, could you explain it? Because this fear, it's way worse than what I've seen.